My friends, everything you see around you, every experience, every person you encounter, at its core, it is all energy. The unseen forces of the universe shape what is seen. What we call reality is nothing more than energy vibrating at different frequencies, molded by consciousness itself. You are not merely a passive observer in this world. You are the creator. The energy you carry, the thoughts you dwell upon, and the emotions you entertain are sculpting your reality in every moment. Yet so many of us allow external influences, negative people, doubts, fears, to drain our power. We give our energy away without realizing it, and in doing so, we become prisoners of circumstances instead of masters of creation. Today, you will learn how to protect your energy, how to reclaim the divine power within you, and how to shape your world from the inside out. By the end of this, you will no longer see life as something happening to you, but as something happening through you. You will understand that you are the source, the cause, and the creator of everything in your experience. Energy is the fundamental building block of existence. It is the silent architect behind every form, every movement, every experience. What we perceive as solid matter is, in truth, energy vibrating at different frequencies. Science confirms this, but long before scientific validation, the great mystics, sages, and visionaries of history understood this truth intuitively. They knew that the physical world is merely a reflection of an unseen energetic realm, a realm that responds to thought, intention, and belief. Look around you. The walls, the sky, the trees, the people in your life. Everything is composed of energy. Yet, what makes one experience different from another? Why does one person live in abundance while another struggles? Why does one person radiate confidence while another is consumed by self-doubt? It all comes down to energy, how it is directed, how it is harnessed, and how it is protected. At every moment, you are interacting with an invisible field of energy, shaping and being shaped by it. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are not isolated within your mind. They are vibrations that extend outward, influencing the world around you. Every thought you think emits a frequency. Every feeling you hold generates a signal. And the universe, like a great mirror, reflects back to you the dominant energies you embody. This is why two people can walk into the same room and have entirely different experiences. One person vibrating at the frequency of joy and confidence attracts warmth, opportunities, and connection. Another, consumed by fear or resentment, unknowingly repels the very things they desire. The world does not happen to you arbitrarily. It is responding to the energy you bring to it. If you could strip away the layers of physical illusion, you would see that what appears separate is, in truth, connected. The thoughts you think affect more than just your internal state. They ripple out into the field of possibility, influencing events, people, and outcomes. This is why the greatest secret is not in the manipulation of external circumstances, but in the mastery of your own energy. Yet most people do not realize this. They believe they are victims of fate, subject to forces beyond their control. They allow their energy to be dictated by outside influences, by news headlines, by social media, by the opinions of others. Without realizing it, they give their power away. Instead of being the conscious creators of their reality, they become passive participants, absorbing energies that weaken them, that keep them trapped in cycles of struggle and limitation. But those who understand energy know better. They know that nothing in the external world holds power over them unless they allow it to. They know that the true key to transformation lies not in fighting against the outside world, but in mastering the unseen forces within. Your attention is the most valuable resource you possess, for wherever you direct it, energy flows. It is the currency of creation, the force that shapes the experiences of your life. Every moment you are making an investment, consciously or unconsciously, in the reality you will experience. The thoughts you dwell upon, the emotions you nurture, and the beliefs you reinforce all determine the quality of your existence. Most people do not realize the immense power of their attention. They scatter it mindlessly, giving it away to distractions, negativity, and external influences that drain them. They wake up and immediately check their phones, absorbing news, opinions, and information that may not serve them. They engage in gossip, focus on problems, and replay past failures in their minds, unaware that by doing so, they are feeding these energies and keeping them alive in their reality. But attention is not just passive observation, it is active creation. The more you focus on something, the more energy you give to it, and the stronger its presence becomes in your life. This is why two people can live in the same world but experience completely different realities. One person, who constantly fixates on scarcity, fear, and limitation, unknowingly strengthens those conditions in their life. Another, who deliberately focuses on abundance, opportunities, and joy, finds themselves attracting experiences that reflect these states. The mind is like a garden, and your attention is the water. If you nourish weeds, fear, doubt, and negativity, they will grow and overtake everything else. If you water the seeds of possibility, confidence, and love, they will flourish and transform your reality. The difference between success and failure, between joy and suffering, is not found in external circumstances, but in what you choose to focus on. This is why the world is filled with people who seem stuck, trapped in repeating patterns of struggle. They do not realize that they are continuously feeding the very things they wish to escape. The person who constantly talks about their lack of money keeps reinforcing that state. The one who fixates on betrayal or heartbreak keeps themselves bound to that emotional frequency. They think they are merely observing reality, but in truth they are creating it. But those who understand the power of attention move differently. They are selective with their focus, guarding their mental space with discipline. They do not allow themselves to be consumed by negativity, gossip, or distractions because they know these things siphon their energy and keep them tethered to lower vibrations. Instead, they deliberately place their attention on what they wish to expand. They focus on their goals as if they were already achieved. They embody the feelings of success before the evidence appears. They understand that whatever they give their attention to will inevitably manifest in their lives. Yet society is designed to pull you away from this truth. Advertisers, media, and social platforms compete for your focus, knowing that where your attention goes, your energy follows. They bombard you with noise, urgency, and fear, keeping you reactive and distracted. They encourage you to focus on lack, comparison, and outrage because these emotions keep you engaged. But the price of this unconscious attention is high. It costs you your power, your peace, and your ability to consciously create. The greatest mistake people make is believing they must change the external world first before shifting their focus. They wait for success before they allow themselves to feel successful, for love before they feel worthy, for happiness before they decide to be happy. But this is backwards. The energy must shift within first, and only then will the external world reflect it. The moment you withdraw your attention from what no longer serves you and redirect it toward the reality you wish to create, the entire structure of your life begins to change. Imagination is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, the force that transforms the invisible into the visible. It is the divine tool given to every human being, yet most do not understand its true power. What you imagine consistently and with feeling takes root in the unseen realm and, in time, materializes into the world you experience. Every great invention, every breakthrough, every work of art, and every personal transformation began first in the realm of imagination, before it took physical form. Look around you. Everything that exists in the physical world, every building, every technological advancement, every piece of music, every structure of society, was first conceived in the mind of someone who dared to imagine it. The chair you sit on was once a formless idea. The device you hold in your hands was once a vision in someone's mind. The lives of the most successful, the most fulfilled, and the most joyful individuals did not happen by accident. They were crafted through the consistent use of imagination. Yet most people dismiss imagination as mere fantasy, something for children or dreamers. They believe that reality is fixed, that the circumstances they see around them are unchangeable facts, rather than reflections of past thoughts and beliefs. They do not realize that they are using their imagination every single day, only in a way that works against them rather than for them. Instead of imagining success, they dwell on failure. Instead of envisioning abundance, they replay thoughts of lack. Instead of picturing health, they reinforce the image of illness. And because the mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined, they unknowingly bring these conditions into their reality. Your imagination is always creating, whether you use it consciously or not. If you constantly picture yourself struggling, if you imagine worst-case scenarios, if you replay old wounds in your mind, you are planting seeds that will inevitably grow into your lived experience. This is why so many people feel trapped in cycles they cannot escape. They do not realize they are feeding the very conditions they wish to change through the misuse of their imagination. But those who understand the power of imagination know that it is the master key to all transformation. They use it deliberately, crafting mental images of the life they desire with clarity and emotion. They do not wait for evidence before they believe. They believe first, and then the evidence appears. They see themselves as healthy, wealthy, and fulfilled before their outer world confirms it. And because imagination impresses upon the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind governs reality, their imagined states begin to take shape in the world around them. Imagination is not bound by the limitations of the physical world. It does not require proof, permission, or logic. It does not ask whether something is possible. It simply creates. And the more vividly and consistently you hold an image in your mind, the more real it becomes. The person who sees themselves as successful, even when there is no sign of it yet, is planting the seeds of their future. The person who envisions love, even when they feel alone, is setting the energetic foundation for its arrival. The person who imagines themselves healed, even in the midst of illness, is directing their energy toward recovery. The world you experience is not separate from you. It is a reflection of the images you have persistently held in your mind. If you wish to change your life, you must first change what you see in the theater of your imagination. But this requires discipline, for the mind is easily pulled back into the familiar, into the conditioned patterns of doubt, fear, and limitation. Most people allow their imagination to be hijacked by external influences, by negative news, by past failures, by the opinions of others. Without realizing they have the power to take control, yet those who do take control of their imagination become the architects of their reality. They do not accept the world as it is. They mold it to align with their vision. They understand that what they vividly and consistently imagine with conviction and emotion must eventually harden into fact. They know that the invisible precedes the visible, and so they live in the certainty of their imagined reality long before it becomes physical. They do not hope or wish. They see, they feel, and they know. Emotions are not just fleeting feelings. They are powerful currents of energy that shape your reality. Every emotion you experience carries a specific frequency, and that frequency dictates the experiences, people, and circumstances you attract into your life. To master your emotions is to master your energy, and to master your energy is to take control of the unseen forces that govern your existence. Without emotional mastery, you are like a ship tossed by the waves, reacting to every external event, every word spoken by another, every shift in circumstance. But with mastery, you become the calm in the storm, the immovable force that dictates its own reality, rather than being dictated by it. Most people believe that emotions are something that happen to them, something beyond their control. They feel anger, sadness, or fear, and assume these emotions are inevitable reactions to the world around them. They let circumstances determine their state of being, allowing external events to dictate their internal energy. If things go well, they feel happy. If things go wrong, they feel miserable. They are prisoners of their environment, responding rather than creating, unaware that their emotional state is not just a byproduct of life, but a creative force shaping it. Emotional mastery is not about suppressing or denying your feelings. It is about understanding them, directing them, and using them as tools for creation rather than weapons of destruction. It is the ability to feel deeply without being controlled by what you feel. It is the realization that no one and nothing outside of you has the power to disturb your energy unless you allow it. Every time you react with anger, frustration, or despair, you are leaking energy. You are giving away your power to whatever triggered you. The moment you allow someone else's words to offend you, you have surrendered control over your own vibration. The instant you let a setback dictate your emotional state, you have handed over your ability to create from a place of strength. This is why the world is full of people who feel exhausted, drained, and powerless, because they have not learned to guard their emotional energy. But those who understand energy protection know that their emotions are the gatekeepers of their reality. They do not let their frequency be determined by temporary events. They do not allow outside influences to disturb their inner peace. They move through life with a quiet confidence, unshaken by the chaos of the external world. They know that by maintaining control over their emotions, they maintain control over their entire reality. The most powerful individuals are not those who never feel fear, doubt, or frustration. They are those who refuse to let these emotions take root in their consciousness. They may feel the pull of negativity, but they do not indulge it. They acknowledge it, observe it, and choose not to dwell in it. They understand that emotions are like passing clouds, temporary and fleeting, but the sky behind them, the true essence of their being, remains unchanged. To master your emotions is to master the flow of energy within you, and to master this energy is to become untouchable. Not in the sense that you never face difficulties, but in the sense that difficulties no longer have the power to disrupt your inner state. The storms may come, but you remain unmoved. The opinions of others may shift, but your self-worth remains intact. Circumstances may fluctuate, but your energy stays grounded in the reality you are consciously creating. Yet society conditions people to live in a state of reactivity. The world teaches you to be offended, to be outraged, to constantly look for reasons to feel wronged or victimized. Every news headline, every social media argument, every negative interaction is designed to pull you into a lower state of consciousness, to keep you vibrating at a frequency where you are easier to manipulate, easier to control. The moment you allow yourself to be emotionally hijacked by these external forces, you are no longer operating from a place of power. But those who understand emotional mastery recognize the game and refuse to play it. They do not allow themselves to be drained by the distractions of the world. They do not react to every negative comment, every perceived slight, every challenge that arises. Instead, they remain centered, grounded, and in control of their inner world because they know that their energy is sacred, and to protect it is to protect their ability to create the life they desire. To live as if it is already done is to step into the reality of your desires before the world gives you permission. It is to embody the energy of your fulfilled vision so completely that the universe has no choice but to rearrange itself in response. This is not wishful thinking, nor is it self-deception. It is the very essence of creation. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every manifestation first existed in the mind of the one who dared to believe in it before the evidence appeared. Most people live in a state of waiting. They wait for success before they feel successful. They wait for love before they feel loved. They wait for abundance before they feel wealthy. And in doing so, they unknowingly keep themselves trapped in a cycle of lack, reinforcing the very conditions they wish to change. But those who understand the nature of reality do not wait. They assume. They walk, talk, think, and feel as if their vision has already come to pass, knowing that the world will reflect back to them whatever state they persistently occupy. Every moment, you are projecting an energy, and the world is responding to that energy. If you carry yourself as someone who is still striving, still hoping, still unsure, then your reality will mirror that uncertainty back to you. But if you move with the confidence of someone who already has what they seek, if you speak with the authority of one who knows their vision is inevitable, then the world will align itself accordingly. This is not arrogance. It is the recognition that your inner world creates your outer world and not the other way around. Consider the way a successful person moves. They do not hesitate. They do not seek validation. They do not question whether they belong in the rooms they enter. They know they do. This knowing shapes their energy, and their energy shapes how the world responds to them. They are not waiting for an external sign to confirm their worthiness. They embody it first, and the evidence follows. This is the great secret. Reality does not create your state of being. Your state of being creates reality. If you want to experience wealth, you must first feel wealthy in your mind, in your emotions, in your actions, even if the physical evidence is not yet present. If you want to attract love, you must first carry the energy of one who is already deeply loved, who does not need to chase, who does not feel lack. If you want to achieve a goal, you must not see yourself as someone trying. You must see yourself as someone who has already succeeded. Yet, most people live in contradiction. They say they want wealth, but constantly affirm their lack. They say they want love, but act from a place of loneliness. They say they want success, but identify with struggle. And the universe, being a perfect mirror, reflects back to them not what they desire, but what they truly believe and embody. But those who understand the power of assumption move differently. They do not allow temporary circumstances to dictate their internal state. They do not look at their bank account and feel lack. They feel abundance because they know their wealth is already theirs in the unseen realm. They do not let setbacks shake their belief because they have already decided that their success is inevitable. They do not chase, beg, or wait. They claim, embody, and expect. This is not about pretending. It is not about forcing yourself to believe something you do not truly feel. It is about shifting into a new identity, a new way of being, where what you desire is not separate from you, but already yours. The moment you make this shift, everything begins to change, not because the external world suddenly grants you what you want, but because you have changed your frequency to align with it. Most people think they need to take massive action first, to struggle and push and force their way to their goals. But action taken from a state of lack only produces more lack. True power comes from being the person who already has what they seek, thinking from the end rather than striving toward it. When you do this, your actions naturally align with your vision, your decisions become effortless, and opportunities seem to appear as if by magic. But this is not magic, it is the law of consciousness at work. Those who embody their desires before they see them manifested in the physical world are the ones who bend reality. They move with certainty not because they have proof, but because they have already decided. They understand that to live as if it is already done is not delusion, it is creation. When you live as if it is already done, you step beyond hope, beyond doubt, beyond waiting. You become the creator of your reality. You no longer ask whether your desires will manifest. You assume their inevitability. You no longer chase, struggle, or seek external validation. You embody the energy of fulfillment. This is the difference between those who merely wish for change and those who command it into existence. The world will always reflect the state you persistently hold. If you wait for evidence before believing, you will remain stuck in an endless cycle of waiting. But if you choose to believe first, to feel first, to act as if your vision is already real, the universe has no choice but to align with your assumption. The unseen always precedes the seen, and the moment you claim your reality from within, it begins to crystallize in the world around you. So, decide now. Walk with the confidence of one who already possesses what they seek. Speak with the authority of one who knows their success is inevitable. Move through life as if your dreams are not in the distant future, but here, now, already yours. Because the truth is, they are.